Welcome back to another Charlotte Legacy League video, Temur Delver versus Ruby Storm. Both players have kept 7, and Dalton will be on the play, playing a Scalding Tarn, fetching a Tropical Island into a Delver. Chris will play a basic Mountain into a Rite of Flame. Let's see what else he has after that. Dalton's just reading the Rite of Flame, seeing if he wants to daze it or not, more than likely. We'll see what he chooses to do. He will daze it, returning the Tropical Island to his hand, turning Chris off of any storm. He's going to flip a Unholy Heat, which isn't going to do much against Chris here, but it's a card he can put back on Brainstorm to find something else. So Chris is going to come out with another basic Mountain. He's going to play another Rite of Flame, putting 3 mana into his mana pool. And he's able to cast a Ruby Medallion, a Lotus Petal, a Metamorphose, which will net him 1+ mana. He'll draw. He has his dice off screen, so it doesn't really help very much for Storm. He has 3 mana total, and that looks like it may be a Burgie. No, it's not a Burgie. It is a Wren's Resolve, which will allow him to exile the top 2 cards of his library. So he plays a Seething Song is what he got off of that, and another. Jesus Christ, what the fuck are these cards? A bonus round. What the fuck? Alright, well, he has those in exile until his next turn, along with a Jeskai's Will and something else underneath it. Dalton flips his Delver, plays another Delver, and passes back to Chris. No life totals either, so this will be a very easy game to follow. That's a basic Mountain underneath there. He will cast Jeskai's Will, which allows him to exile the top 3 cards of their library and play them this turn. And Metamorphose, which will be a net positive for mana. Another Jeskai's Will. It's like he has a Galvanic Relay there. And then, let's see what else he has. Not sure how much mana he has floating. There's so many cards. Alright, well, looks like he ends his turn and exiles a bunch of shit. Dalton flips a Brainstorm. Both Delvers swing in for 6. Dalton casts a Brainstorm, putting 3 cards in his hand. He can get rid of that Unholy Heat. So he has a Bobble in his hand as well. And a Stifle. Stifle is good for him to hold on to in case Chris does somehow get his Storm off, and he can just stifle the Storm trigger. Play a Bobble. Look at the Chris's top card. Chris will draw. Looks like an Ancient Tomb. Another Mountain. Chris can't really afford to take any damage with 2 Delvers. Okay, he's going to cast a Burning Wish. Allows him to go into his exile and grab a sorcery card out of it. Or not out of exile, but out of his sideboard. He's going to get another Seething Song. So he's going to try and set up for next turn. Attacks for 6. And that'll be the game. Join us for game 2 in just a moment. Welcome to game 2. Both players kept 7 cards. Chris will be on the play this time. We'll see what he has to lead off with. Alright, Looks like he's got a basic mountain followed by Rite of Flame, 2 red mana, into a petal. Storm counts at 2. He has a Burgie in his hand. Let's see if he's going to play it this turn. He's going to surgical his. Oh, okay. Surgical is Rite of Flame. He does have a Burgie in his hand and a Metamorphose and a Burning Wish. So with 3 mana, with including the petal, he could play Metamorphose, which will allow him to draw a card. But I think he holds that back till next turn. I think he just plays the Burgie here. Hopes Dalton doesn't have the Lightning Bolt for it. And then next turn, he can play his Lotus Petal into a Metamorphose into Burning Wish. And maybe be able to get something out of this. But it's going to be kind of close. The Metamorphose with Burgie out will net him 3 mana. So, and I believe the petal will also give him a mana as well. Whenever you cast a spell. Yeah, so whenever you cast a spell. So he plays the Burgie here. So he's going to go ahead and cast the... I think he only has 2 mana there. I'm not quite sure. He has 2 mana floating here. Oh, he played the other petal. That's 1. Not quite sure how much mana he has floating. I'll definitely have to have a conversation with him about making sure he uses his storm counters while it's out. I think the medallion probably would have been better played. I think all of that would have probably been better played next turn, as it would allow him to go a little bit deeper into the tank, also see what he has coming. Everything costs a little bit less as well, but maybe you wanted to play around days, I understand. But now he is hellbent, facing down an unflipped Delver at the moment. Looks like Dalton just drew a Termagoyf. So Chris is going to play a Reckless Impulse. And attack. Alright, we'll see what that gets him. He can't play the Reckless Impulse because he does have the Ruby Medallion out. Dalton does have a Termagoyf in his hand, and it looks like another land. If it's a tropical island, I imagine we'll see the Termagoyf come down this turn. Oh, it's a bauble. Okay, not another land. We'll brainstorm and see if he can find one. Found the Stifle, which is great. Found the Lightning Bolt as well, it looks like. But it doesn't look like he has another land. So maybe working off 1 mana here. And set his Delver up to attack, and there we go. Can't tell if it's a flip Delver because he has doodles on his, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. Let's see, Chris looks like he's trying to play a Seething Song? Oh, I can't quite fucking tell. Delver comes in for 3 again. This time Burgie can't block. Chris passes. Dalton passes back. It's like another Reckless Impulse. To a Lotus Petal, which will net him 1 mana. And then he has a Jeskai's Will. Let's see if he's going to play that this turn or wait 1 more turn. He's going to pull the Burgie. That makes sense. Jeskai Will being a sorcery doesn't allow Burgie to be cast at instant speed. So he'll cast the Jeskai's Will now. Flip the top 3, which are 3 lands into a bonus round. Doesn't have any extra mana to cast a bonus round. Don't know, attack for 3 again. Cast a Ponder. Still looking for that second land. Looks like it's a Termagoyf and a land. And it's another Jeskai's Will from the top of Chris's library. Let's see what he gets here. Seething Song. A Soothing Song, Rin's Resolve, and a land. You can cast Rin's Resolve to try and dig a little deeper. I guess he's going to choose not to. Dalton immediately casts a Ponder off the top of his library. He knew it was there. Another land, Force of Will, and a Goyf. Attacks for 3. Keep on moving. Metamorphose. That'll net Chris 1 mana and allow him to draw a card. Next turn, looks like he's going to do that. And then we're going to probably see a Tarmogoyf come down. So he's still holding a Force of Will in his hand. Chris draws another Ruby Medallion, which doesn't quite help the cause here. So he'll Metamorphose to draw another card. It's an Ancient Tomb. I don't believe that's going to do it for Chris. I believe he's all out of life as well with that Tarmogoyf and the Delver. Dalton draws, has Force, as well as a blue card and a Lightning Bolt. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
Shine the big shit!